Welcome to Breach Please, the cybersecurity show for people who are tired of being sold a firewall and a feeling. I'm Jess Heavenstrite, and with me as always is Jake Williams. Between the two of us, we've broken into networks, defended them, and shown up at 3 a.m. to clean up the messes that everybody else just talks about through hot takes online. So when we tell you something's nonsense, you can take it to the bank. Here's the deal. Every episode, we take the security stories that actually matter, we translate them out of vendor speak and into English. And we say the things your CISO wishes they could say. Check out some past episodes. I can't say because they have a mortgage. No fear-mongering, no vendor scripts, and absolutely no synergizing our threat posture. If you hear that phrase on this show, it's a duress signal. Breach, please. Pull up a chair.
Hey.
Hey, friend.
How are you?
I am well. Getting a little sleepy and tired this far into the week.
Yeah, I hear that.
Still a long way to go.
I hear that. Yeah.
Yeah. Some very late night / very early mornings.
Yeah.
I could say.
Yeah. We didn't get around to recording yesterday. It's funny. We were in person together, but business took over and just way too much.
Yes.
Ended up leaving a business dinner, I think, at 10 o'clock?
10 o'clock.
Anyway, yes.
Yeah, and then had to get back over to my hotel.
Yeah.
And,
I did the same. I mean,
it was a whole thing.
Yeah. But thankfully, better transportation options than anyway.
Yes.
So, okay. Rolling forward, what are we talking about today?
Because apparently we just talk about AI security stuff all the time.
Can we stop?
Can they stop giving us reasons to?
No, I know. That's what I mean, I feel like, you remember John Strand's, make pen testing great again?
Yeah.
Spiel? I feel like that's where we're at now. It's make security not AI again.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right? I don't want to talk about this stuff. It is, the biggest thing in security right now, unfortunately. And actually, can I ask, why do you think that is?
Because all the businesses are, I think it's the only thing getting attention in our organizations. Mm-hmm. And so we have to naturally latch on to it to get the support and the funding we need, I think is part of it. I think with the mythos and we're too powerful, we need help and that kind of thing, and the vuln-apocalypse is coming from various areas of our industry. I think it's the thing right now.
Yeah. So I think that's part of it. There's no question, right? Mm-hmm. I know I've talked to you about this in the past. I've worked several entitlements management projects and non-human identity governance. That's not AI. That's foundational stuff you should have. But they're being branded within the organization's AI enablement and funded under AI dollars, right?
Because that's how you get the funding and the support,
right? Yeah. But I think there's a bigger thing at play here too, right? And it's that I did like your perspective there. It's valuable. Obviously, I can reciprocate there. But I think that a lot of it is this is a brand new attack surface, and if you roll back, some of you are young. No offense, some of you are young enough in the field that you don't remember a time when there wasn't cloud.
Yeah.
Right? And remember, we played this game with cloud.
We did. I've said this in multiple conversations.
Yes. Right?
Yes.
But yeah, we played the game with cloud. We didn't know how to secure it well. Initially, you think back to S3 buckets, right? By default, they were open. You had to come and lock them down. Today, you have to go out of your way to create an open, S3 bucket. And I think a lot of that, we're just seeing the same thing here.
Because history repeats itself. We don't learn lessons that we learned the hard way the first time. Apparently, we don't learn them, and everything old is new again. I said that, so I did a tech briefing for IONS this morning, and various topics came up, and it was everything old is new again.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is a bit of that. Time's a flat circle, right? Mm-hmm. But then stepping away from the everything old's new again, this is brand new tech for most of us. We're learning how to secure this in real time.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And all the platforms out there are trying to minimize barrier to adoption because, let's be fair, right? Security is a non-functional requirement.
Yep.
Everybody talks about security. Honestly, when people talk about AI security, I think a bit in high school, people talking about sex, right?
Yeah.
Lots of people are talking about it. Nobody really knows what's going on. And and so I think that's just part of the reality here. And so I think we're going to continue to see these I'm going to call them cautionary tales.
Yeah.
Until enough people get bit and start taking it seriously. So.
Yeah. I mean, we had to go through that with cloud. We're going through it with AI. In 5-10 years, we're going to go through it with the next evolution.
Yep.
It's. I wish some of the themes we're not repeating, right? Because we've learned this lesson, like let's make fun new mistakes instead of the same old ones.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
That would be indeed fun. Just out of curiosity, why didn't we go through this with blockchain? Oh, that's right. It was a scam and didn't actually have a business purpose, and nobody actually deployed it. Never mind. It had nothing to do with security. Okay, moving forward.
And moving on.
Yeah, I'm sure I've really annoyed some people
some
there.
Some of the crypto bros.
But hey, first off, bring me your no-joke enterprise use case, right, for blockchain that, and this is critical, requires blockchain, right?
Oh, not blockchain because blockchain?
Right,
blockchain all the way down?
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and also, right, one that, is I've had some folks come and say, well, this is a requirement for this requires blockchain because it's, we're looking at supply chain issues. And I'm like, cool, right? But who's going to adopt this, right? It has to be something that actually people would be incentivized to adopt, not some Field of Dreams.
The sky, yeah.
Oh, I call them Field of Dreams projects. Build it and they will come.
Don't you disparage Field of Dreams,
I'm
Iowa.
not disparaging Field of Dreams. I'm just saying, like, the general IT transformation projects are not build it and they will come.
Correct.
Right? So,
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so now that we're done ranting about not wanting to talk about AI security, what are we talking about?
Let's talk about some AI security.
So what happened?
So apparently, our good friends OpenAI and Anthropic had some AI agents that targeted real people and systems in some tests. So now we're not...
Can we be really clear about OpenAI and Anthropic here, right? These are their models.
Yes, sorry.
But not
the company.
The AI Safety Institute that was running the tests.
Was it? Or was it...
Was there another... Oh my gosh, really?
Again,
there's another...
They were the same ones involved with the Anthropic escaping the...
Okay, so apologies here. This is why it takes a village even to keep up with this stuff. So separately, we did have the OpenAI issues. Then the UK's AI Safety Institute separately had issues testing agents that were using Anthropic and OpenAI as the backend. But now I see there's an OpenAI issue here. Was there an actual Anthropic issue, or was it the AI Safety Institute using Anthropic's models?
Both OpenAI and Anthropic have confirmed
they're models, right?
Not the
involved.
Agents. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This is an important distinction, by the way, because we keep coming back to model versus, agentic harness. The model itself can't do anything until you wire it to something, right? This is not like Pluribus, right? Where like it outputs some magic, phrase that like takes over your brain and, mind controls you, right? By the way, you've seen that show, right?
Yeah, of course.
Epic.
Yeah.
Absolutely
so
epic.
Good. Yeah.
Okay, anyway, sorry, fire away.
Yeah, so their models were used. There was some testing being done, as Jake pointed out, by the UK AI Security Institute and a cybersecurity testing company that was also involved in the previous Anthropic thing that we talked about earlier this week. And so the models spearfished some GitHub project maintainers and then tried to social engineer them into installing malware and approving, I think, updates to the GitHub repos that contained malware. And then when pushed back on by some of these maintainers, took steps to cover its tracks to cover up the malware and obfuscate and those kinds of things. And this is getting scary for me.
Well, this is, when we talked about the Anthropic issue, I said the big canary in the coal mine, situation there. Like the thing that really was scary for me was that they hacked PyPy, right? And actually got a package on PyPy. Now, again, we're back to the Field of Dreams problem. This isn't build it and they will come. Although, right, an agent that had persisted that in memory could indeed, that package name, could indeed point people to it in the future in code generation. But take that out for a second. Here, they're doing something a little different. They're going after established packages,
right,
and targeting the maintainers. And yeah, I'm with you. Yikes! This this is huge, right? Because, I mean, if we're pulling the social engineering card, this is literally how the XZ happened, right? I mean, it was target a maintainer of a those who don't remember, XZ Utils, we'll put a show link in the show notes. Please remind me to put a link in the show notes. But XZ Utils, where, ultimately, a threat actor, I believe it was North Korea, attributed to North Korea, but North Korean threat actor ultimately, befriended a package maintainer, and then ultimately got commit access to to the repo.
A long game. I mean,
very long,
over like a couple years, right?
Yeah, I was going to say a year to 18 months, but sure, somewhere there, right? But long game here. Now, by the way, that long game, difficult for humans to put in the work, right? Trivial for a machine to do, right? So, yeah, I mean, the social engineering aspect of this was quite a quite a thing, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember another time where you've heard of, with like a breakout like this, basically an agent trying to do social engineering? I don't. I think we've crossed the Rubicon here.
Yeah,
I was just trying to fact check here.
My brain's a little slow this morning, folks.
Fair.
Very late night.
Yeah. Oh, tonight's gonna be a late night. Goodness. Woof.
Pool party.
Yeah. The B-Sides pool party is one of my favorite events of the year, because it really marks the end of not working, and then into working Deveron. But seriously, yeah. So, but yet here on the agent, the agentic side, the idea that it's trying to social engineer is huge. The idea that it tried to cover tracks is also huge, right? Now, the AI Security, I always call it AI Safety Institute, so it's UK's AI Security Institute, and their post-mortem talked a lot about, well, the name of this maintainer is very similar to a name in one of our tests, is, right? Well, okay, what do you say, come on?
Because I think it goes back to the reward hacking, and I think that's a convenient excuse.
Yeah. It's both simultaneously in my mind, right? So it is reward hacking, and it is a convenient excuse.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, come back to Anthropic's releases, about the 3 that it detected, right? And it said in every case, the AI determined that it was, first assessed that it was hacking an in-scope target, then later assessed it wasn't hacking an in-scope target, but didn't notify regardless, right?
And it justified to itself.
Oh yeah,
right?
the one case kept right on going, right? It's like
it must be.
It's
like,
out of
even
scope,
though it's not,
sure,
but
I'll keep hacking it, right? I mean, this is huge, and by the way, too, we don't have any, to my knowledge, I haven't read the white paper or the write-up from the AI Security Institute. It doesn't sound like the model notified them. It sounds like they detected through, I believe it was Tor, if I recall correctly, right?
Right. Yeah, that's my understanding. Yeah. So what do we do here? I mean, this is, just think about the past 2 weeks and the news and how, it's just it keeps getting
You're getting the table with the camera.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good. All good.
I'm sorry. I will sit on my hands.
Jess talks with her hands a lot.
A lot. I'm going to do the influencer. Sorry. I mean, it just, what is next, and what do we do?
Well, let's back up for 1 second.
Okay.
I do want to note that, for folks because I answered this question this morning on an IANS briefing live here in Vegas, and folks were like, oh my gosh, right, if this is just the last 2 weeks, right, what do we have coming? And my take on that is it's not just the last 2 weeks. What we're seeing here is post-mortem of stuff that happened in April.
No, absolutely. But the news has been over the past 2 weeks.
Right?
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I get it. We are going to see more of these. These are things that in most cases, with the exception of the UK AI Security Institute, weren't detected in real time.
Right.
And so there's likely a lot more of this yet to come as folks start going through their logs. I got to ask you, actually, if you were testing AI agents, let's say, I don't know, in May and June, right, before any of this breaks, you're testing AI agents, they may or may not have escaped a sandbox, you have perfect logging, 100% of the execution traces, you've got it all, right?
Yeah.
Do you look through it?
Hell yes, I do.
Really?
Oh, maybe.
Really?
Wait.
Really?
There's a liability there that I didn't think about when I was first answering that question.
Oh, academically, I'm very interested in what's in the log data.
I'm torn,
I'm very
right?
interested, right?
I'm very torn, but once I know about it, I have a duty.
Yes, you do.
So, and my lawyers...
Do you have a duty to look through that log data now? By the way, nothing we say here is legal advice. We always close with that, but I want to make it very clear here. This is not legal advice. We're going back and forth on...
It's an academic discussion, like a thought discussion.
Yeah, okay, thought exercise, right? Yeah. But this is a very real exercise that I think there are probably some organizations going through as we speak.
I am reaching out to my legal department.
100%, yes.
And yes, and involving them in this discussion and probably asking to be under attorney-client privilege.
100% this needs to be ACP'd, yeah. Yeah, and by the way, as you reach out to your legal counsel, it's not just a question of, should be very clear, it's not just a question of, hey, legal counsel, wanted to talk, whatever. Make sure they understand the issue, because these are very complex issues. Use analogies if you have to, if you need help with a specific situation, analogy, whatever. I'll NDA with you, right, to help you with that, right?
Yeah.
Seriously, like pro bono, I think it's that important at the moment, but now let me flip the script here, right?
Okay.
Let's say that you have imperfect logging data. Does that change your risk calculus, or does it change your action?
No, I'm still going to legal to see if I should even... Knowing that they're imperfect, I don't think changes the fact that I need to clear with legal and get direction and comfort, right?
Okay.
Even with, let's say legal says, you do it. We need to do it, like
we
whatever.
We need to review?
Yep, we need to review.
Yeah.
Even with imperfect logs, I mean, we have imperfect logging and security all the time, and we still...
Not with autonomous actors, we don't. I mean, let's be clear. I don't want to analogize one to the other because they are very different very different cases, right? Because with deterministic actions, with missing logs, if I have A and E, right, I can assume that B, C, and D occur. I can infer that B, C, and D must have occurred, right, to get from A to E.
Okay, but I'm coming from a different perspective. So I want to look through and say, there's direct evidence, right?
Yeah.
If with the absence of, I cannot say no, this did not happen, right? But I have to make that qualified statement. But I may have logs that say this happened.
Yeah. I mean,
that's my thought process on that.
Yeah. See, I'm kind of in the. Well, I guess before I give any of my answers here, I want to throw one more curveball at you, or at least a little bit of a curveball. I think saying go talk to legal is both the right answer and a bit of a cop out, because legal is then going to ask us. What do you recommend?
Think? Right.
So now,
absolutely.
So now I'm going to ask in both circumstances, perfect log data and imperfect log data, what do you recommend?
Am I a publicly traded company?
No.
Okay.
The reason Jess is asking, are you a publicly traded company, is that has to change your risk calculus.
Yeah.
Because you can't conceal materially. You can't conceal material information, right? Which I think we can make a pretty good argument this would be material information if we
Again,
found...
not legal advice.
Right, yes. Yeah. This isn't even something your in-house counsel is dealing with. They're talking to securities counsel outside, right? But okay, so not a publicly traded company. You're wide open on your options. Your ethics drive a bit, right? Yeah.
I with perfect, in both cases, yes, I am. Yes.
Okay. I got to tell you, I fall on the other side of this, right? I really do.
Not surprised at all.
I fall on the other side of this, right? And this is not because I want to be super clear, right? Like, I'm putting my corporate hat on, not my, you absolutely have, I personally believe you absolutely have a duty to, to notify the public if one of your agents went absolutely rogue and all that. But yeah, I think this is something where, until somebody knocks on the door and asks for that, Yeah, and I'm not going to go delete any logs. I should be very clear of this. Any logging I have, don't delete that. That's evidence spoliation, right? That is legal advice. Well, no.
No, it's not. He's not a lawyer.
I can't actually. But let me tell you, don't delete stuff, right? If there's a reasonable chance that somebody is going to need it. But yeah, so I wouldn't take any steps to delete it, but I wouldn't take any steps to preserve it either, right? Additionally,
your natural data retention policy.
Yeah. And now I should be very clear here that regardless of what legal agrees with me on from a recommendation perspective, the way I'm acting moving forward from today is completely different, right? Because the idea of this probably won't happen, like
out
forget
the window.
about it. That's gone. That ship has sailed. Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Gosh, you're making me.
I mean, I'm a startup. Put yourself in startup shoes, right? I'm a startup. I'm a Series A, looking for my Series B, right?
I can't.
We've got we're not even cash flow positive, right? Like, I can't afford this.
Correct.
Right? I can't afford this.
Correct.
And so, like, literally, this is
the curious person in me and the doing the right thing person in me really struggles with. But I see where you're coming from.
Let's talk ethics, friend, on doing the right thing, right? Because I'm a Series A who has a bunch of employees who are Series A, right? Seriously, with a bunch of employees who are depending on me for insurance, for healthcare, for the putting literal food on the table, a roof over the head of. Again, I'm not saying this is the right thing to do. I'm saying this is a freaking hard decision.
Yes.
By the way,
I would love
to
know what you all think.
Yeah.
Like, come to the comments. We post on LinkedIn as well. So let's, and if anyone wants to have like a conversation, we'd be happy to have you on the show.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. These are all really spicy ethical debate topics here, right? That there are no right answers for. But look, the one thing I can promise you is that most of you watching the show, and if you're working in enterprise security, 100% of you watching the show, are going to have a stance on this in the next 12 to 18 months. Like, no question.
That long?
I think probably rapidly earlier. I was
like
getting
12
ready
to 18 weeks.
Okay, fine. 12 to 18 weeks at most. Okay, so Jess thinks you need to accelerate developing a position here.
I think you should be thinking about this actively right now.
Oh, I wasn't saying delay, right?
Okay.
But I'm saying like that's kind of the whole point. You need to be thinking about this stuff. What is your stance so you're not caught flat-footed, right? Because consistently, the most trouble people get in with liability type issues are that it's that the things that happen immediately after you learn about something. It's like, bam, go.
Yep.
Right? And so.
And I encourage you all to not necessarily just think about it like yourself. Like, you should, take the time personally to think about it. But then you should interact with like really smart colleagues and stuff so that you can challenge each other's ideas and make them think about things in a different way, like Jake just did with me.
Yeah.
And
vice versa.
And then I think as a community we can have maybe this is generally how we think about it, and you have support and you're not standing on an island.
Right.
And you can point to other folks that like, well, we had these conversations and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So don't do it by yourself in a silo.
Yeah. So let me ask now, like the $1 million question, right?
Oh, only $1 million?
Yeah. Well, it could be billions. We'll see, right?
Yeah, that's where I'm going. Yeah.
What about Gemini?
What about Gemini?
Yeah, I mean, so Gemini hasn't exactly been a frontier model, right? Compared to, I know Google would beg to differ, right? But I mean, if we're talking, the top end frontier models, right?
They're the redheaded stepchild. I'm really sorry if that's offensive. I was a redheaded stepchild, so it's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, so like we haven't heard anything about Gemini. We know Google, like I don't know, but I mean, I can't fathom Google isn't doing agentic testing, and if they are, they're using Gemini as the model. Are they just doing it better than doing sandboxing better than everybody else since they have nothing to? See, I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
really?
Yeah, roll all the way back to Aurora, right? Yeah, this is way back machine stuff, right? Google. Google has a heavy zero trust
They do.
model. I mean, they are the zero trust reference model. I know, like today,
Right.
NIST built that from them, not vice versa.
Right.
Right. So post Aurora. If you're not familiar with Aurora, this is way back. This is Chinese government hacking Google. It's one of the first big government versus foreign government versus U.S. corporation hacks. Right. So this is what circa. I don't even guess 2006, 7?
I was just thinking 2006.
6, okay, 6-ish, right? Somewhere in there.
We have the internet right here.
Yeah, we have the internet at our fingertips, yeah. So, like, I'm curious, right? Do we think that Google's just doing that much of a better job? Or is it that Gemini's not capable of this? Or what?
2010. They attacked me.
2009.
It was disclosed in 2010.
2010, okay.
It started in 2009.
Okay. Close. We were close.
I don't know.
No. Me either. I think it's an interesting anomaly, though, that like there hasn't been any. If I'm Google right now, by the way,
I'm
huge.
Quiet.
What? Not a bit. I think it's a huge PR failure, right? Google, if they know, now this is where I kind of step back and wonder, right? Because if Google knows that their stuff hasn't been, their agents haven't broken containment, why aren't you saying so?
But
now they are a publicly traded company.
And tomorrow, new evidence could come out.
I mean, maybe.
That it did happen. And so then you have a PR nightmare because it's like Google just yesterday or just last week said, look at how much better and awesome in our controls, and we haven't had this problem, and then boom.
Boom. Yeah. Yeah, that could happen. I get it. Like that, then, heck, anyway, there's all kind of, I was going to say they could be actively investigating one now, right? Now they are a publicly traded company, so you should expect more due diligence before we see a big press release there. But I kind of feel like it's weird that we haven't seen a press release. I get what you're saying, right? You say today, we haven't, not our problem, right? And then tomorrow it is. Like, that doesn't age well.
Yeah.
But the silence is deafening. The silence is deafening. You have the other two major, they are third in line, no question, right?
Yep.
Okay, so then, I kind of expect to hear something from them. Honestly, I kind of expect to hear something from Microsoft too. And again, the silence there is deafening, right?
Yeah.
And so, because now, granted,
it is Black Hat Week. Black Hat Week. They're so busy, Jake.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they
busy.
are. Yeah.
With their big booths and
Definitely. Yeah. Giving out T-shirts, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Speaking of T-shirts, we have some if you're at Hacker Summer Camp.
Yeah. DEF CON specifically. Swing by contests and events. We probably have, I don't know, we've got a few.
Yeah.
It's not, trust us, we did not bring truckloads of T-shirts.
But
all that said, and stickers and poker chips and fun stuff. Do you want to move on to the other, unfortunately, AI adjacent story that?
Yes.
So Grokipedia, right? Now, look, I got to tell you, I'm kind of happy about this story, and also I think there's an InfoSec lesson here as well. Lawfare reported today that Lawfare, fantastic organization here, but ultimately the Grokipedia's edit pipeline just shut down, and I believe it was about 6 weeks ago, they said. And so this is really interesting. Now, Grokipedia, if you're not familiar, Wikipedia is all community-sourced contributions, but it's very woke, according to some. Grok is not woke, and so Grok, basically does. Oh, it wasn't 6 weeks; it's way longer than that. But Grokipedia was supposed to be the unwoke Wikipedia, where everything wasn't just community contributed, it was AI vetted by Grok.
Right. And the pipeline to vet and then automatically approve.
And publish, right?
And publish, yeah.
And I guess some was written by Grok originally too, like Grok bootstrapped Grokipedia and then took community contributions. And then those community contributions just stopped, apparently, processing without anyone noticing.
At the end of April.
End of April. Let's see, May, June, July. That's a while.
And nobody
noticed.
Nobody noticed. Yeah.
So enterprise lessons here, because we actually don't care about Grok or Grokipedia could die in a fire, but enterprise lessons?
Enterprise license. So again, this goes to monitoring are things that you are expecting to happen happening and that you depend on in your business processes, are
Right.
those functioning? So this is a control failure,
Yeah.
right? And so if we're thinking from a GRC perspective, for example, maybe you're having to, get your latest SOC 2 accreditation, certification, whatever. Don't come at me. You're renewing your ISO certification or getting a new one. Whatever, SOX evidence, whatever. You need to make sure that your controls are operating and not just when it's time to do the audit and pull the evidence, right? You should be monitoring your controls for effectiveness and that they continue to operate as expected so that if there's a failure, you can detect it early and you can correct it.
Right.
And so that's my takeaway is this was a control failure.
1,000%. This is the opposite actually of what we're talking about, the agentic breakout. This is and I don't even call it an agent because this isn't autonomous per se, but yeah, you've got this pipeline that just up and failed. But I can see a lot of different ways that these pipelines can up and fail, especially the AI side, because 100% of it requires an LLM backend.
Right.
There's an API key for that. So many orgs are putting, multiple apps on a given API key. Don't do that, right? And then when they revoke an API key for one app, it revokes it for a bunch of them, right? And now
like
this
anything,
pipeline fails,
right? I mean, it's the age-old thing with the service account, right? We used a service account.
Yep.
For 57 different things.
Yep.
We had to change it in this one instance, and then we broke 3 business processes because of that. And now we have a IT incident.
Well, the good news is, look, the 3 that you broke that you know about, those are the easy ones.
No, we discover, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking like day 1, you broke 3.
Yeah.
Day 50, you broke 53
right.
of them.
We're trying to close the books for the quarter kind of thing, right? Yeah.
Oh, that's my nightmare scenario, by the way. I know my axiom on DLP. It's minimum 30 days in test mode so that I catch the monthly stuff. And ideally, I want a full quarter of data so I catch the quarterly stuff too, so that my DLP doesn't block some enforcement rule that we're putting in, doesn't block some business process that we just are ignorant of, right? Because let's be real, we don't have good business process inventory across.
What?
I know, crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, I mean, and here again, like, I actually think this is the easiest possible case to detect, right? Because it's something that flat out, like, it's visible, it's not happening. The pipeline's broken and stuff doesn't proceed.
Yeah, so in this one in particular, Grokipedia publishes where like a human suggested edit is in the disposition process of it, being reviewed and updated and whatever, and they've just stopped.
Yeah.
So, and that can tie into all sorts of other automated things going on in your environment.
Sure.
ETL and all of that kind of stuff.
Oh, absolutely. But my nightmare scenario, though, is when, when we've got something that's doing data enrichment, for instance. It's not breaking the pipeline, right? Or safety filtering right after the fact, or like. And I'm not going to throw any vendor names out here, right? I'm seriously not going to do subliminal man, right? But like, there are a lot of email security providers now that are all API based. The malicious email makes it to your inbox, but an API comes and rips it out, ideally before you ever get a chance to interact with it.
Yep.
My friends, what happens when one of those pipelines fails, right? Because it's not visible that it failed until you have an incident, right? So like it's extra difficult. To your point, there's a control failure here, right? But take that other scenario, right, where we've got someone doing data enrichment or something that doesn't, like, it's not a blocker, right? I'm terrified here, and I'll tell you the ones that, like I said, the shared API keys definitely scare me there. It's also spend, right? So. Oh. Yeah, you see, I saw you immediately got where I was going with this, right? Because we turned this thing on 6 months ago. Tokens cost X, right? We said, no pun intended with Grokipedia, tokens cost some dollars, right? And today they cost 5 times more dollars, which means we hit our spend limit, right? That we put in as it was a good thing for us to do then as a control. Now it's biting us, right? And shutting down that service prematurely during.
Or, automated expansion of infrastructure and stuff in our cloud environment right? Because we're expanding and contracting as we need to.
Right.
And if we're not monitoring that for going awry, suddenly you have you're going to have a massive AWS bill anyway if you use them. But, well, any of the cloud providers.
That's true.
But suddenly you have this massive AWS bill, you know, and it's like, what happened here? Why didn't anybody know? Why didn't anybody stop it? Why didn't, all of those things?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So anyway, fun times, right? So big takeaways from this episode.
Big takeaways are, oh my God, I'm so scared of all of this AI crap, and we're just going to keep seeing more and more. And I don't mean scared in like I can't do anything about it, and I'm going to put my head in the sand, but it's just, it's a new frontier. Also pun not intended. And things are moving quickly, folks. And so this is an evolving thing. Have the thought exercise of where you stand on, do I, retroactively look back, or do I not do that, and why, right? What does that look like? And under what circumstances would my position change?
I think that's important.
Is important.
Yeah, so I'm down to contain your agents, right? Like 100%. I'm going to pitch custody again. I think that's at least a way to start thinking about containing agents within an environment. I think it's really important to note as well, we didn't talk about this, but just to kind of close out, the UK AI Security Institute, when they detected traffic outbound, it was because it was Tor. It's not because it was traffic outbound. They intentionally had hooked the system up to the internet for those tests. But when it started using Tor, that generated an alarm with their security operations center, who came back and notified the testing lab. So yet again, we have the testing lab, sounds like kind of missing the boat, right? Flying asleep at the wheel here, right? And I think the other big thing is, honestly, like the keep all your agents secured in, I don't mean to imply that's a long-range problem for a lot of folks. It's not. It's a very near-term problem. But something that's an immediate-term problem is people have, throughout your business, wired critical business processes to AI. And so the Lawfare article that we're going to link as well, I think, is a great cautionary tale there. Again, the story is not Grokipedia. The story is this failed, no one noticed, right? And this thing has buku eyes on it, right? That could have noticed, could have brought it to light. And most of your business processes just do not, right? So
100%.
Anyway, I think that's the episode.
I think that's the episode.
You want me to read us out, or are you doing it?
You go ahead. As soon as it comes up.
As soon as it comes up. Well, hey, folks, that's the episode. Made you smarter? Tell a friend. Made you mad? Tell a vendor. Breach Please is a production and copyright of JWJH Media LLC. All rights reserved. Now, legally, the opinions of the hosts are our own, though we are an LLC and probably an AI agent. So anyway, but none of anything we said is legal, financial, or especially security advice. Do your homework before pointing anything we said at prod, and under no circumstances should you point Grok at prod. Thanks for listening. Patch something, make a threat actor's life suck a little more. Follow the 3-2-1 rule, and we'll see you next time on Breach Please.
See ya.